Can you be vegan or vegetarian and make it to the top of bodybuilding to the Olympia? Um, I'm going to say it's possible, but not probable. There's too many. It's too complicated to get the type of protein in that you need to get in. Being vegan or vegetarian, anybody who knows anything about it, um, most plant-based sources of protein are not complete proteins. Okay, they don't have all the 9 essential amino acids. They do not have all 20 in a complete chain like animal protein would. You can mix and match proteins to accomplish that, or mix and match vegetable sources to get a complete protein. And there are also a few that have all, soy does, although it's kind of in a garbage proportion. So there's a lot of complication for getting that. So for example, let's think about soy. If you were going to eat tofu as your protein source, it takes 900 calories of tofu to get roughly 50 grams of complete protein. 220 calories or so of a chicken breast will get you the same amount of protein. Okay, so you're thinking to yourself, what's the big deal? The problem is when you're dieting, you're cutting down for a show. How are you going to be in a caloric deficit and keep your protein high enough to retain muscle if you have to eat 900 calories to get 50 grams of protein? You're not. It's going to be impossible. So you're going to have to sacrifice muscle mass in order to achieve a caloric deficit to cut for a show. So it's damn near impossible to maximize your potential on a vegan or vegetarian diet. It's also extremely complicated. You have to know the various vegetable sources and what vegetables you need to mix and match, plant-based sources that you need to mix and match to get a complete protein. And another factor to consider too is a lot of plants have phytoestrogens in them as well. Soy being terrible for that. So not only are you contending with having to eat a ton of calories to get enough protein, you're also contending with being in a very high estrogen environment in your body when you're cutting, which anyone who's done a bodybuilding show knows that estrogen is the enemy of getting lean. It just bloats you up, makes you retain fat. Ultimately, it's about a caloric deficit. So we have two problems here. You're fighting an uphill battle with not having enough value with protein versus calories, dealing with phytoestrogens, and there's also the digestion issue. Let's look at the other side. If you're bulking in a hypertrophy phase, anyone who's eaten enough food to get bigger knows that your stomach gets very sensitive. And I've had to cut vegetables back or remove them completely from my diet when I'm in a hypertrophy phase, because it just fucks my digestion up. I fart, my stomach gets upset, and I'm not fully digesting my food, and we want to maximize digestion when we're in a hypertrophy phase to get the most muscle growth. If you can't digest your food, if you're having trouble digesting your food, you're not absorbing it and putting it to use. So it's the double-edged sword. And ultimately, bodybuilding is about, at the highest level, is about optimization, doing what is the most optimal. I'm not a fan of vegan or vegetarian diets for sports performance. I just don't think they are optimal. I'm not saying you can't be a professional athlete and be vegan or vegetarian. There's plenty of people that have done it, but we're talking about being the best. If you want to get the maximum results, if you want to optimize your performance with the diet, being vegan or vegetarian is not the way to do it. I'm sorry, it just isn't. I don't see how it can be, considering those factors. So yes, you can be. You can put on muscle with being vegan or vegetarian. It is not optimal. That's my thought. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this. Have a great day.